Well, I say that. I never really say it's a Sunday show. It's probably a good job because we are now on Thursday. My apologies, but I've been trying to get a few other things in, so it's all my fault. So at least we're here. That just means that you've only got another 3-4 days to wait for the next show. Well, let's get cracking then, shall we? Again, I've got a treat for you. We have as the co-announcer today, the Mystic himself, Mystic Ted. Welcome, buddy. Always good to have you on the show. How are we feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good, Bernie. Thanks for letting me come on the show. And,
my pleasure.
Sorry I couldn't come on sooner.
Oh, don't worry. It's been my fault this week. I've just been just been too busy. I got obviously the Blue in the Box show done a few days ago, but as real life always raises its ugly head. But luckily we've been able to get it done now, so it's going to be a good show. We've got a lot to pack into our show today, so it should be good. Just to let everybody know, there will be no coach challenge this week like there was on the Blood on the Box. There will be no coach challenge because the PS4 crew, they beat the Xbox already way in advance. So the champions for the first bragging rights trophy goes to the PS4. So well done to all the PS4 coaches. You rock, you won, you're the champion. So congratulations, and congratulations Teddy, who I do believe you won 2 of them rounds, didn't you, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, both 7 points, I think. Like 7 out of 10. Or 7 out of 9.
Xbox have got no chance for you on the show, kicking ass all the time. So, we won't be having that, but we've got a lot of other stuff we're going to be going through as well. And there's a new segment called Hey, That's My Piece. I've named it that because I don't know what else to call it, where we will be discussing a piece. And obviously I'm going to have Teddy Tom and we're going to tell you what the piece should be doing, how we should build it up and why, and various other stuff to go with it. So we'll be talking about that very shortly. But first of all, we start off at always with the pole position segment. And obviously this week it's good old Projecki again with his Apples team and the race of Skaven. How would you pronounce this coach's name? I say Projecki, but I'll probably imagine it. How would you pronounce it, Teddy?
I'll say it's still up Projecki.
Oh, well, there you go then. So that's good. So, let's have a look at this theme then, Teddy. Let's get the Apples team up there. I'd seen this a few times. I spoke to Projecki on my Twitch stream, I think when I was announcing an Xbox playoff game or something like that, and he was very nice and was talking, having a good time about it all, and seems a very nice lad. And he was telling me about his team. He said he was quite... not hypnotised, I'm trying to think of the word. My strength, he quite liked my strength 4 ball handling Chaos Warrior. Now he's got sure hands as well.
Probably.
Yes, there you go. I knew you would know. So he was mesmerised by it. I said, yep. I said, the reason he got sure hands is so people like your rats can't bloody come in and strip ball my bloody strength 4 piece with your red dar block. But here we go then. Let's have a look at his team. Teddy, take it away. Tell me what you like, you don't like, and what he needs to do with his team.
Well, he's, not a lot of Skaven coaches like it, but I do like the Rat Ogre, and he's got a lot of skills like blocking claw, which is doubles, and so that's a really threatening and scary piece to have.
Yeah. And
it's also got another claw piece in the other Storm Vermin, Scurry the Lethal. I hope I said that one right. So they surprisingly can pack a punch a little bit with the 2 claw pieces, and of course it's got a couple of Mighty Blow as well to help out, and then each of the gutter runners are very well developed. He's got a great one-turner, natural one-turner, a great ball hawk in Lehir of Itchy. I'm sorry if I butcher any of these names, but I'd like the way he's skilled up, so it's all good. Yeah, even the light.
Sorry, yeah, I'm just about to say when I played this team, I think it's actually the last time I played. The thing I like about this team is the claw pieces. Is like I said, the Rat Ogre. Yeah. What a Rat Ogre that is. And then obviously he's got that killer as well in Scry the Lethal or whatever you want to call him. And he's also got like the one turner as well. So he's got some good pieces. I just think he's played too much with them. I think this team's been getting beaten up by a lot of teams. You know, maybe not losing, but he's been losing players, and as we'll talk about later on the show about kill teams, it is a very risky time to be playing your Skaven. But what else did you like? Sorry, Teddy.
I was going to say the Russell pieces as well, with the gutter runners, and then the 2 linemen as well. Yeah, those are very great to have. I think the only one negative I'd have to point out is there's no kick. If you have one lineman with a kick, that'd be great because it's always great to reposition your players and be able to get to that ball quicker.
Yeah,
Especially with these gutter runners.
I think he might have been killed because I think when I played him, he's always had kick. I'm sure he has. But I could be wrong, but I'm sure he does. I mean, most Skaven teams do, don't they? So
yeah.
We'll see. So yeah, but I like the team. He plays the team well. And like I said, when you've got players what pack a punch, and then you've got then you've got gut runners who can actually get to the ball carrier, it is a really dangerous team. He's got a bench as well. I just think this team's been slightly weakened because they've been getting a pounding. They've been absolutely getting a pounding. And you know that to me is the only issue with it. But yeah, they're doing well. I mean, what's he got in the club? Elf Turf, -1 armor rolls. I would have quite happily had the Wizard, to be honest. But hey, 31 wins, 9 draws, 9 losses. Not bad at all. He beat the Killer Nagel team. He's beat him the last twice he's played him. I'm still confused what officials do with that Nagel team, because sometimes I think he's just there to destroy teams. Because there's times when he really bothered. He doesn't seem to be bothered about winning the game. He's just there to destroy them. And we'll like I said, we'll have a look at this Nagel team and his K12 team shortly. But you know, Apple's beat some really good players. Really good players.
Yeah.
And you know, he's going to be a threat. I mean, I know you predicted he won season 9, but you know, I wasn't too impressed with him in season 9. But I think this team is a lot better suited, and I'd prefer him. I think he's got a much better chance this season. And plus, obviously, with him now having the experience of being in the playoffs, that's massive. So, and Cinemouse has just come saying he's killing, winning is optional. Yeah, that's the impression I get, Cinemouse, about that Nagel team. He's trying to wipe teams out. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But anything else?
It's not just with his Nurgle as well.
Well, what are you on about with?
With his other teams as well. When I've seen him play Chaos and Cross, it's more kill first, winning second, like Cinemouse just said.
Do you think he's like a Calcium Cass? Is he in that sort of build?
Possibly. Mate, that's the way he goes. But he reminds me a lot like another coach, like Afro Shetty. He whenever I've seen him, he's always playing constantly, a mix of teams all the time.
Yeah. So
I played him the other day. He was playing Dark Elves.
Oh, was it?
Fresh Dark Elf team. Yeah.
I'm trying to think I think he beat Bearzo with them Dark Elves, if I remember correctly. 3-0, so we gave him a right beating. I mean, Official's a good coach. He really is, but people have said, you know, it's when things aren't going his way, that's when he seems to implode on himself. So it'd be interesting to see how he does.
Yeah.
I mean, he's obviously got great records all about, so he's a very good coach. He knows what he's doing. He likes to bash, and I really think he's in the same bracket as Calcium Cass. That's who he reminds me of. Sort of like, I'm going to try and destroy your team sort of thing. I think Cass probably tries to win more than... I mean, Cass always tries to win. Sometimes I think Official just wants to destroy teams, so maybe he's even more dangerous.
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll have to see. But anyway, so that's the Skaven team. They're looking good. How many more games will he play? I don't know. I just fear for him because, oh man, there's some nasty teams about at the moment. Really are.
Yeah.
And with I mean, it's 2140 as well TV value, so he's going to be running out to all the big monsters, I would have thought, with that TV value. But, you know, hey, good luck if he does. But like I said, a lot of the games he's been playing against is against the Nagel Brag. He's even beaten 5-1. Jesus Christ, what was the Nagel doing in that game? Bloody Nora.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, look. He's played him a number of times. I'm just looking on the first page. It's like 5 times they've played.
Yeah, it's because of the TV values, isn't it? They're so high in TV. They're not going to be many they're going to be able to go against, are they?
Spin into.
So there we go. Anyway, let's go on to the new segment in the show. What's basically called "Hey, That's My Model," where basically we're going to pick a position. And we're going to talk about it and tell you what you should do with that piece and vice versa and all that sort of stuff. So, with Teddy Tom playing Kislev this season, and obviously Teddy Tom is one of those coaches who knows a lot about Kislev, I thought we'd pick his brains. So we're going to be talking about the Kislev Blitzer. Now, I do believe I do have a team here, brand new team of Kislev. So happens. There we go. So... Let's
Yeah,
go through it.
there's a lot of ways you can build them.
The first thing, what things to me though, is when I stop messing about with things, is 110k. That is a lot of cash. Lot of cash is
Yeah,
110k for what you get. A movement 7's nice. Strength 3, agility 3, armor 8 standard. You get leap, but obviously very long legs make that a lot better. Jump up's nice when you remember to use it, and diving tackle's nice, but no block on the blitzer. So you're paying a lot of money for an average sort of piece. Is that fair, or do you think it's a bit better than an average piece to start off with?
uh, he's a little bit better than the average piece, like because you still got to be wary because jump up, dive and tackle is going to be a decent man marker at the start. But a lot of Kislev coaches, there's a lot of way you can when you start with a Kislev build, a lot of coaches debate if they want to actually get blitzers or not, or if they want to build somewhere else and get more catches. So it's a very highly debated topic. I personally think if you're going for a more long-term build, then you should definitely build out blitzers because then once you build them up, they become a lot better. It's sort of kind of like a Nurgle piece. Like when you look at a Nurgle warrior, you don't think that great, foul appearance, certain presence. But then once you get those additional skills, then they all start building around together, and then it all works, and then it becomes a very nasty piece to deal with.
Yeah, I mean the thing I like about them is you can have 4 of them. Now I like that. I like having 4 blitzers. So that's always good. But the other key thing as well is they can take general, agility, and strength. So 3 of the 4 skill categories they can take on a normal roll. So basically, you're not going to be paying for like a lot of other blitzers where they'd have to pay double for like maybe agility or something else. They get it on 3 of them. So it's fantastic. Yeah. It really is, and that's what I like about it. Like I say, jump up, down, tackle is a very nice thing, a nice combination. I mean, do Kislev coaches take wrestle, or do they take block on these guys, or do they use the split?
It's usually a split, and it usually depends on what you want to build it. Because most Kislev coaches, they want at least one blitzer that's going to be a great killer piece. Because they've already got the jump up, so if you give them block, mighty blow, piling on. That's a great combo there to start getting killing done.
Yeah.
And then they can start getting some other skills like dodge as well, tackle. In some cases, they do like to get frenzy and guard. But you always want one killer piece. But generally, if you have more than one blitzer, you want to develop them as good marker pieces. So they usually go for guard or block first, and then get the other skill, and then they start getting more nuisance skills. So they get skills like sidestep or stand firm. Yeah. It's usually one of the two, and then like dodge, of course, to be more annoying. Yeah. And then other than that, there's a lot of other utility skills that they like to get, like grab, for example.
Grab.
Yeah, it's quite helpful for Kislev because you can reposition some of the blitzers or the opposing pieces. Sorry. Move them out the way, so then your catchers, for example, get in that tight space and then leap over and make more. Punch more holes and create new angles of attack. So even though it seems odd, but grab's a good skill to have. Obviously, mighty blow as well. Also depending on stat ups as well. So say they rolled a double and get strength. Some even like to go break tackle as well.
Crikey.
Get that 2+ dodge as well. So having all this skill access is really good. And to be honest, if you do roll a double, there's no real need to get a passing skill because you've got the catchers that can do it. Even though none of the players do have passing skill access, you don't really need it on a Kislev team. I mean, if you really want a passing skill, if you roll a double for a blitzer, get leader and get an extra reroll is great. But even then, you want it as like the last or second to last skill. If you really want a double, like a passing skill at leader.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, I've looked at the Kislev team and they seem a lot of fun, and I've seen other people play them. The thing, what seems to be the common occurrence on the PS4 and the Xbox, what I've seen, is the teams break quite easy. That's the issue. That seems to be the major problem. But I love these blitzers. I love them. I mean, you've got 4. I mean, like say we got 4 agility. For catchers, aren't you, sort of thing. Then you get these four
Yeah.
guys. I mean, the ball is never safe against Kislev, and that's what I like. I think they're fantastic. And like I said, if you get a few stat ups like I don't know, an agility upgrade on this bad boy, or strength,
Yeah.
oh man, it's awesome. I think the problem
Any
is
setup really is pretty good.
The problem is keeping them alive. I think that is the issue.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of a killer, definitely. I think I'd probably try and build 2 like that, and then maybe 2 as ball retrievers. But again, your linemen, you could even use them, can't you, as ball retrievers? Just give them wrestle and they're a threat. And you know, it's an interesting piece because, like you said, a lot of people seem to have different ideas of how to use the blitzer. Some people say killers, some people say ball sackers. But the thing is, when you've got 4 of them, I guess you can change them.
You have a wide option of selecting what route you want to go down. But generally, you only want 1 killer because you're not really a bash team. Having 1 killer is great because you've always got that threat of, okay, if I need to blitz, I can blitz with this player and hopefully get a injury on another player. But having a bit more 2 killers, it's not great because you're not really going to plan to kill. It's more trying to defend really, and then see an opening and then push on that opening and then getting the ball and then running off.
Yeah. How important do you think guard is on these?
Guard is it's quite important because if you need to, you can position in the cage, leap in, get a guard assisted, then you can get another one and blitz in and leap in. Obviously, it's still dangerous since it's a 3+ normally on blitzers. But it is quite important for guard. It also depends on what style you want to go in because you can be a bit aggressive and try to play a bit of a bash game, get a few guard here and there. Other people, like myself, play the more defensive and just if there's an opening, pushing that opening and get out. So guard it can be hit or miss. Guard it's still important though because let's not forget they do have access to the bear and the bear can get guard as well, which does help. In case you don't want to risk your blitzers getting sacked. Is
the bear a key piece in the team, or is it just something just totally odd? You know, I sometimes I think would I want the bear in this team because it's a lot of TV value. Yes, it gives me a bit of strength, but how important is it going to be? I don't know.
Yeah, well, the best way to think of the bear is think of it kind of like an ogre for a human team. It's just a great piece to have on the front line and just to help out, but it's not a massively important piece. You don't need to have a bear, but he does help when he's around. And also, in certain matchups, like if you're playing against an elf team, it's good to just put him in a pile of pieces because of that prehensile tail. So, it does catch some coaches out sometimes as well if they're not paying attention, and it does help. And it's like diving tackle as well. Like it's not a -2 on the dodge, but it's still a -1, and it can fail. It has helped me out a number of times. So a bear is not essential, but he does help keep the front lines alive.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, these guys to me, like you said, there's so many ways. I mean, when I did my roster video, I'd never played Kislev before. I mean, I know that there was Slam, but they'd be changed to Kislev. But I was like, I thought, oh, God. You know, I sort of thought, oh God, I've got to do the Kislev video. And when I did the Kislev video, it was one of the most enjoyable videos I did because I'm like, crikey, you can do this, you can do that, you can do this, you can do this. Oh my God, you can do so much stuff. The problem is keeping them alive. But I'm just thinking, you get these with wrestle or block, getting blodged. Same with the runners, getting more blodged and that, and all of a sudden the low armor isn't much of an issue. It's something.
Roger's well can be useful as well for the blitzers, like wrestle.
Yeah, because you got to jump up as well, haven't you? So that works perfect. I mean, I'm just thinking, maybe season 11. I mean, people was asking me on a couple of my Twitch channels about season 11. And I said, look, don't be surprised if I give Kislev a run. Because, I don't know, there's just something about them. What I think they're a lot of fun. It's just trying to keep the team alive, I think. Because, I played them a few times. And every time I play them, I've had so much fun with them. And it's just something, where you think to yourself, when you want to win a championship, is Kislev good enough to win you a championship? That's the thing.
If you want, in my opinion, they definitely can. It's just they need a lot of development, and like you said, they just got to try and avoid getting injuries and death. because when they do die, it's hard to replace them since they are, like you said, the blitzers are 110k.
Yeah, they're expensive.
And the catchers are 80k as well.
Yeah, I like the catches to a certain extent because agility 4 with leap is amazing. Trippers is in the chat. Hi, Trippers. He said at some point he will have a go with Kislev, but probably not next season. And he said about Elven Union, there's been a lot of love out for Elven Union since the Legendary Edition's come out. Even on the Xbox, a lot of the coaches have been going Elven Union. At the moment, very little success has come through. I mean, you could say that about most legendary teams, to be fair. But Elven Union, at the moment, when in the playoffs, they've been getting banged badly. Really badly. Even on the Xbox, they've just been tabled off, just about. So it'd be interesting to see how they do with the year development, with the season development, see if other people can succeed where others have failed. But the kids, I mean... Is this one of the best pieces in the game, do you think?
It's definitely up there in terms of the quality of what you get as a player. You think 1 to 10k is a bit expensive at first, but you essentially don't need to roll doubles to get anything you need. So you can build them however way you want. Obviously, there's the best builds, which I said a bit earlier, like you can have 1 killer piece. But most of the time, and then the man markers really does help as well. So they're definitely up there as one of the best pieces.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Sorry, I was thinking like the block or wrestle, sidestep, and dodge, dive, tackle. Oh my God! These guys could be paying in the backside, surely.
Yeah, definitely. But I think you need guard a bit more earlier as well, because guard does help, especially when you're trying to cage break and leap in, for example. It does really help.
See, I always thought if I roll a double. I mean, I don't know what... I presume you'll need a double for strength with a catcher. But if I did, I'd be on guard every day of the week because I'm thinking you're jumping in onto a cage on a 2+. You've got to take guard on a catcher, I would have thought. It just makes it much more reliable to cage break, I would have thought. But...
if you want a double and a catcher, guard is a good option. But another option people like to go for is pass as well. Because passing skill is also a double. And if you give pass to a catcher, then can be a more reliable ball handler. You get the sure hands, you got the pass, and you can pass easier. And then the diving catch adds like a +1 to the catch roll. So even if he's marked up in a sense, it does make passing a bit better.
Yeah, I always forget about that diving catch adding +1 to the catch. I always, for some reason, I just don't think it should be there. I just think I wonder who banged him on the PS4. I don't know, Trip. Some lucky fucker. Now then, so yeah, I like the piece. I like that you get general agility and strength. I love it. I like that, and that'll keep the TV cost down. So although, like you said, you're paying quite a bit early on, 110k, when these guys are developed, they're awesome, and you get 4 of them. That's what I like. You get 4 of these bad boys, and you get 4 catches. So there's so much. I don't know. I just like Kislev. I just really do. The only thing what puts me off with Kislev is like when I've always tried to play Wood Elves, I always fail the leap with the War Dancers. So I'm thinking, crikey, I've got to do all them leaps with them. Oh dear, maybe not, but yeah, I think it's a good piece. It's certainly one of my favourite pieces for potential wise, anyway.
It's just a long debate with Kislev coaches, just the way you can start with blitzers, because they are expensive, and even if you try to start with blitzers when you start off, you usually can only get 2. Just because they're just so expensive, and with the linemen and the catchers as well, it's just difficult to try to build them up. To start with. I mean, like once you do, they're great.
That's it. I mean, I obviously played against. Who was it? I played against a few of these Kislevs on the Xbox, and I'll tell you what, I hate it because you're never safe. You're just never safe. Almost every turn, they can even just throw a lineman with wrestle at you. And, the chances are, one time or another, they're going to get the ball loose. I mean, luckily for me, as a lot of people have found, that Kislev break quite well. And I have been breaking Kislev pretty quickly. But if I don't, I always have a pain in the backside with them. And I think that is the key. If you can stop them getting broken and minimise the hits they're taking, then I think Kislev, under a proper coach, definitely an experienced coach like an Arzawin, for instance, could win a championship. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm trying to make a run, and My team's getting there. I think I'm currently the top Kislev coach. I
There
don't
you
want to
go.
sound like I'm bragging, but I'm just making a run with them, and I'm having a bunch of fun.
Tripper said, unlike Teddy. Hey, picking on you, Teddy is. He's picking on you with that Tripperus.
That's right.
I didn't want to
Also, I
jinx
just
you.
want to pick up. Yeah, I just wanted to pick out because Cinema said diving catch. That is correct. You can catch inaccurate passes, but you don't get the +1 from the diving catch. So it's a bit more of a risky sort of play if you want.
Right.
If the pass does go inaccurate.
Right, so basically, if the pass is accurate, you get the +1 to the catch. If it's inaccurate, you don't get the +1.
Yeah, and if you have two players with diving catching next to each other and they try to catch it, it cancels it. They cancel each other.
Oh right. Oh well, that's never a good thing. So they've got to be at least what, 1 or 2 squares? Well, 2 or 3 squares away from each other.
Yeah, otherwise it cancels
Cancel
both
each
their
other.
skills out.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah.
Good thing to know. Right, so there we go then. So I hope that helps with the blitzer. I really like I said, I like the Kislev, and let me know if people try out the blitzers, and let me know what you think's the best setup for best way to go with these blitzers, because I think this seem a lot of fun. Right then, I guess we better go to this thing. There's something happening on the Monday, some sort of final. I'm trying to remember what it is. It could possibly be the season 9 finale, I do believe.
Yeah, it's Chaos Dwarves versus Dark Elves, and I know you're gonna sway towards the Dark Elves because you're a bit sore after that match.
Right, let me put it this way: if Trippers wins it, I'll be really happy for him. Trippers is a top bloke. I am sorry, Stuntman but yes, I am still sore over that. Yeah, you know what? I'll tell you how bad that loss was. It was worse than when the freaking crowd cost me the final against Gasselmal's Undead. That's how annoyed I was with that game. But I saw Chelsea Zolo get an absolute nuffling yesterday with his Wood Elves. And, you know, it happens to us all. Trippers has had it done to him. Everybody's had it done to him. So, you know, it's happened to us all. But I like Trip. I have plenty of time for Trip. And you know what? I would be very happy if he won one. He deserves it. He's a good coach. Same as Stuntman Didi. I think for me personally, it's going to be a pleasure announcing it because I've got 2 really good friends of mine. So whichever one wins, I can honestly say, you know, I'll be happy for them. And if Trip wins it, good on him. You know, I'm not bitter at all. I'm frustrated over it, but it's Blood Bowl. I've played this game for over 20 years, so it's not the first time. And you never know, next season it might be him. So, you know, it is what it is. But let's go and have a look at the teams when I decide. There we go. Champion Cup. Right, I'll tell you one thing what was really interesting. I had Stuntman Didi on the show a few weeks ago, and he didn't want to play Trip. He didn't want to play him. And I said, well, why do you want to play Trip? I think, you know, Trip always gives you a chance with the ball, in my opinion. And he was like, I can't beat Trip. I've never beaten Trip, ever. And I was really stunned because Stuntman Didi is just about beating everybody else. But he can't beat Trip. So I was like, oh, crikey, if Trip gets through, that's going to really mess with his head. And what happened? Trip does what he does. Like the postman, Trip always delivers. And he's in the final. So it's going to be interesting to see because I think Trip, me personally, we'll have a look at Trip's team first so you can go through it. I think Trip's got a really good matchup here. Because he's got all that tackle. He's got 2 killers. And, you know, he's not giving up loads of TV against him. The interesting thing to point out is it's at the Dark Elf Stadium, so there's a free wizard for both teams. Would you say that gives the Dark Elves a big advantage, or do you think that would help the Case Dwarfs?
Well, it definitely helps the Dark Elves more because Dark Elves are just elves in general. They're great at just if they fireball a cage, they can just get an opening, get the ball, and just run out if they can. Of course, it's a little bit harder. I mean, they still do have the bull centaurs, which are movement 9 in essence, so they can do that as well. It's just a bit more unreliable since they're only agility 2.
Yeah.
And then when I look at Trip's bull centaurs, they are agility 2 as well.
Yeah. I mean, what does Trip have to do to win the final? He's got 3 Dark Elves. 2 of them Dark Elves can jump into the cage and just punch out the poor Hobgoblin and take the ball off him. What does he have to do to win this game against the Dark Elves? Tell Trip, because he'll need the help. Tell him, Teddy. How does he beat the Dark Elves?
Well, well, you got to point out that he does have three Chaos Dwarves with extra movement as well, so that's important. So, in essence, he can kind of catch up to the Dark Elves because I think Dark Elves are the slowest elves in terms of movement.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They can catch up to him quite well in terms of speed. Dark Elves do have the slight speed advantage, but I think Trip's got enough players here to keep up at least. And then he can slowly just win the bash game because he does have a lot of Mighty Blow, the Minotaur as well, a great piece you can't just sleep on because you can charge at any moment.
I tell you what, Teddy, it's interesting that because his Minotaur, I think he got killed or something, and then he apothecaried it. He was a -1 strength, so he retired his Mano and he's brought in another Mano. Now I don't like that at all because basically. He's given Stuntman Didi more inducements, and the Mano. I mean, I just don't see why he wants it. I just don't get why would you take an unskilled Mano? I just don't get it. I mean, if Trip's in the chat, please tell me why you take an unskilled Mano into the final. I just don't get it. To me, Stuntman Didi will be rubbing his hands together, going, "Cheers, Trip. That's an extra bit of inducements you've just given me." Because at the end of the day, it's got no tackle, no block. It's It could get 2 assists or 1 assist if he wants to blitz with it, but surely he's got better pieces to use. Surely.
Well, yeah, like we can see, he's got the ball centre Shook Fast Blaster with Blodge, Break Tackle. Probably a much better choice to use as the blitzer, but the Minotaur does help because that is a frenzy piece, so if Stuntman's not careful, he can use him to do some crowd surfing. And it's also just another Mighty Blow piece to hopefully take down the Dark Elf armor because they are AV8 and not AV7, so it's a bit harder to take them down.
Yeah, he's saying he's got not much Mighty Blow, and he says he doesn't like loads of hobgoblins on the pitch. Well, that's fair enough. I can kill his inducements with Darkwalker anyway. Who the fuck's Darkwalker?
Darkwalker, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's his. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, it's his. Yeah, but the thing is, he's movement 4, so basically he ain't gonna catch shit. And any TV advantage translates in better chance to win. Yeah, maybe. I mean, like I said, Trib, you know what you're doing. I just look at Minotaur and think, crikey. I mean, he might have a Stormer. But if I'm Stuntman Didi, I'm extremely happy you've took the Minotaur because that just gives me more inducements. I mean, we will have a look at Stuntman Didi's team in a minute. Because the concern I had with Stuntman Didi's team is he's very low numbers. And every time I play Trip basically, he must have fixed dice because he always rolls high for armor breaks. So although you've only got a couple of mighty blows, you're a bit like, you remind me of Arzawayne. You could have goblins against dwarfs and you'd still outbreak me with armor. Arzawayne does that a lot. But I see the tackle. I'm not too keen on the movement, but it's done him well. He's got 2 killers. He's got a nice couple of centaurs, especially the skilled one. 2 data players. I like the 2 data players. I like this team a lot, and I know speaking to a lot of people, they're thinking this team is going to be a nightmare matchup for the Dark Elves. I just can't wait to see how he's going to defend the cage star. Personally, myself, I'd put 1 guard on either side of the corners to give him the protection. That's how I would do it. But
yeah,
that seems a logical step. If we have a look at Stuntman Didi, aka the Entertainer, now this guy is Mr. Popular. Everyone seems to love Stuntman Didi. Everybody seems to want Stuntman Didi to win. The Blitzkrieg is 2.0, the powerhouse. Tripper says, I can't recall last time I caged. Well, that's a big concern, because if you don't cage, I think you're going to see the ball get taken off you very quickly.
You're going to have a bad time.
Yeah, you are going to, against this team, you're going to have a serious trouble. Now then, let's have a look at the Dark Elf team. Tell me, Teddy, what do you think?
It's quite solid. A lot of blodge, I see. Blodge tackle. Nice juicy stat ups on 2 of the blitzers, and then the agility up on the other blitzer as well. He has an assassin, which I know you don't really like, but
nope.
I think it's quite a smart idea, especially against Korths, and that's because hobgoblins are AB7. So even though he does have a blodge piece, I think the blodge Shorehand Hobgoblin a well-aimed stab could knock him down and hopefully cause an injury. So that is quite helpful as well. And he also has the runner with leader, so he's going to come in with 5 rerolls at the start. So
yeah,
we're not going to see him fail a lot.
I had this discussion with him. I streamed the highlights of his game against. He came onto the Twitch channel when I look at the teams, and I pleaded with him. I said, "Stunty, you've got to get rid of that 4 freaking reroll. You don't need 5 freaking rerolls in a Dark Elf team where you've got agility 4, agility 5 all over the freaking place." I was saying to him, you can get some serious inducements here. He needs a bench because Trip will chew through this team. He will chew through it. So if you don't have either babes or extra bench, even if they're just mercenaries, you're going to have them players because, Trip is at his best when he's got his opponent down to 6-7 players, and he could quite easily do that against this team. I don't like the assassin. I mean, I would probably put the assassin quite far back. As soon as I can tag the ball carrier with 2 pieces, that's when I'd bring his shadowing into play. I don't like it myself, but hey, he's got him, and I know he likes the assassins. But I'm looking. I mean, what was it? 2140 was Trip's TV, so he's not really getting much.
Yeah.
He's getting 160. What's nothing. I mean, luckily he gets a free wizard. As you've said, will help. But I'm thinking, get rid of the reroll. I mean, that's an extra 50k. That gives me 2 mercenary Dark Elves, and I think you just go with that. Then you've got then 14 players. And then at least you've got a chance. But I don't know. I don't think you need 5 rerolls. I think that's way overkill. I know that's how he plays. And he'd probably ignore me. But to me, I'm thinking, you know what? This is a final. You need to get more players. You do not want to lose a final because you've run out of players. And I think the thing is, if you have the 2 loners, you just put them on the front line. So if they get smashed, who cares? That's saving 2 of your more reliable pieces. But that's just me. I mean, I don't know what you think. What inducements would you be taking if you had? How would you go about it if this was your team, Teddy?
Well, he's got 12 players, so he's going to have a 1 player on the bench, which isn't too bad. But if it's 160k in inducements, I'll be tempted to take an extra apothecary and maybe a babe, because I would be scared of all that core powerhouse and hitting them quite hard. So I can see him getting knocked out, and if you lose a key piece, the apothecary does help, and then having that extra one also guarantees that another one could survive if one does get hurt.
Yeah.
The 4 rerolls or the 5 rerolls can be a bit excessive, but considering it's against Chaos Dwarves and they do have tackle, so that does negate the dodge. And if Stuntman Daddy starts rolling 1s, it's going to want those rerolls.
Yeah, and
so the extra rerolls will help.
Yeah, I mean I get that, I really do. But I'm just thinking, look, I need inducements. I mean, maybe it's because every time I play Trip, he seems to just break my arm every bloody time. But I just think he needs more players.
I could see that as a concern. That's why I was thinking more getting apothecaries, just so if they do get injured, they'll still be around, like on the sideline for the next drive.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably because people who know me know I hate not having a bench. I like to have a bench, and elves can break quite easily. And if Trip gets on one of his armor break sprees, as he can do, especially when he's got 2 killers, you need them extra players. And I'll tell you another thing as well. People say, "Oh, well, you might need them rerolls for the extra cage break and all that sort of stuff." But what you got to remember is, he could get into that cage, everything could go right. But then that guy's going to get hit. He ain't going to... Trip's not going to... Trip's like me. If you come into my house, you're going home in a body bag. And, he could lose players. It could lose 2-3 players on the line of scrimmage. It could lose players from just anything as normal. But then if he's cage diving, it could fail a leap. It could injure himself. Trip's going to be fouling him with 2 dirty player hobgoblins. He's going to bring the full kitchen sink. So, to me... you need them extra players. A babe's only good if it's a knockout. If it's an injury, it ain't going to help. And I just think if you've got an extra 2 players, it's a lot better. But that's just me.
Yeah.
The reason he's got no Witch Elves is he doesn't like Armor 7. Does not like Armor 7 at all. So just someone in the chat asking why no Witch Elves. They break too easy for him.
Yeah, but then I've got a counter question for that. If he's Armor 7, why does he have a runner and why does he have an assassin?
Best ask him that. I don't know. I don't know if I asked him that when thinking, but he just doesn't like Witch Elves. Maybe, I don't know. I don't like the assassin either. I don't. I get the runner. I totally get why a Dark Elf team would have a runner. But he doesn't like Armor 7. But I don't think it's going to make much difference against Trip's team. But I just think. I don't know. I would be looking to get extra players, but you would think Babe. I think extra players. Projecki, nice to see you, buddy. He says Armor 7's best armor.
I think I said Babe and Apothecary as well.
Yeah, Babe and Apothecary. So he'll probably go with what you say. He always ignores.
Yeah. Well, it just makes the most sense because I think he does have 12 players, so he's going to have a one-man bench. And as you said, if he's going to cage dive and you want to try and put him in a body bag, if that player does end up in a body bag, he can use the Apothecary to resurrect him and get him out of it. So that's what I think the extra Apothecary is coming in. So that's just how I see it, especially in the Dark Elf Korth matchup. It's going to be a very close, tight game because they play the basic game of Blood Bowl like what you should know very well, both the teams. And it's usually going to be. I reckon this will end up like a 1-0 victory.
Really? I don't think it.
Yeah.
The only way I see this being a 1-0 victory is if I'll do my wonderful prediction like last season. I cannot see Trippers shutting out the Blitzkriegers than Trippers. Trippers is all about the bash and scoring and stuff. I don't think Tripp's the best defensive player. He's a very good coach, but I think his strengths are in other predicaments. The Blitzkriegers are their strength is their offense. I cannot see Trippers not letting him score. I can't see. I think the Blitzkriegers will score at least one. I think if the Dwarfs are going to win, they've got to control the ball and basically win the possession battle and win the bashing battle. I'll be amazed, and I'll be the first to hold my hand up like I did last season. And I cannot see Tripp holding. I cannot see Tripp stopping him scoring. I can't. I just can't. Blitzkriegers will minimum score one. Minimum. It could lose 2-1 to the Trippers, and Trippers is quite happy to win 2-1. I could see Tripp winning 2-1, but I can't see Tripp not shutting out the Dark Elves. I just can't see it. But more importantly, two questions. First, Steel Drake. This game is on Monday. Obviously, this is a Nuffle Shuffle show. This is a talk show. So we just spend a bit of time on this game because it's the finals. It's the big final. So that's the first thing out the way. The most important thing is, though, we've got Mystic Ted. He knows what's going to happen. Mystic Ted, what is going to be the final score? Who's going to win? And are we going to get any crazy shit happening?
Well, a lot of pressure because last season I got the score completely right.
Yep.
And you thought I was doing some shenanigans backstage, but I reckon I can definitely see the result being a 1-0 victory to the Blitzkriegers.
Ooh, yeah, okay, I can see that.
I mean, it's going to be a tight game. It's going to be more focused on positioning and trying to remove players, but. I think you said earlier that you don't think Tripp can stop him. I believe he can, thanks to the stadium enhancement of the Wizard. So the Wizard can also interrupt Stuntman Diddy's shenanigans if he tries to break down the pitch or if he tries to cage up.
Yeah.
Because the Wizard is also a double-edged sword as well, in my opinion.
Yeah, I just think the Wizard he doesn't scare us because you could blast him and the ball could go on the floor. Jellyfog guy picks it up and goes, yeah, cheers for that. I mean, I think when you use the Wizard, if I'm Tripp, I'm thinking, when I use the Wizard, I've got to pick the ball up that turn. I've got to get it because if I don't, he's just going to pick the ball up and he's going to go off again. So I get that, but what you got to remember as well is I always think the Blitzkriegers are at the best when they're entertaining and score quickly. He's tried to play it a bit more slower this time round, and maybe like you said, maybe the Wizard in play might see the Blitzkriegers score quickly. I can see the Blitzkriegers trying to blow the Dwarfs out the water in the first 5-6 turns, try and get 2-0 if they receive first. Gimlick think it's going to be 2-0, so you and Gimlick don't see the dwarfs score. Oh, sorry, keep calling them dwarfs. The case dwarfs scoring. Would it put you off though? Stuntman DD fears playing Trip, or he doesn't like playing Trip, and he's never beaten Trip. Would that put you off at all? Would that get in your head if you're playing in a guy who you've never beaten before in a final? Would that put you off, or would that make no difference to you?
It would definitely put you off a bit because you think I've never beaten this coach before, and now we're in a high pressure situation. It's the final game of the champ ladder, and then of course there's the cash prize that also plays into it as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's no cash prize this season, though. Remember, there's no cash prize this season.
So that's
why we let Trip win.
I think that reduces the pressure a little bit then, but I still think that does play a psychological factor. So I think Stuntman D is going to try and play it cool and safe, and I think that will possibly lead into a 1-0 victory.
Right, okay. So 2-0, 1-0. Trip, what score are you going to win by, buddy? Tell us what score you're going to win by. Me personally, I think it depends on the inducements, and I think it depends on how many hits the Blitzkriegers are going to let Trippers get. And Trippers is saying, if anything, I am using massive defense. I totally disagree, Trip. I don't think your defense is very good. I think you're better offensive and everything else. But that's what I'm like. Trip, you're a good player, but I think your defense isn't as good as you think you are. I don't know. Trip. See, the thing is, Trip has said, right? Trip has said, look, he's never beat me, and there's a reason for that. So I like it. Trip. I tell you what I like about Trip more than anything. People call Trip the Iceman. I don't call him the Iceman. I think with Trip is nothing phases him. He reminds me a bit like Gimlick, where he's such a cool dude. He just chilled out. He loves the game. What'll be will be. You can't ruffle Trip. He's really, really good. He's really good at stuff like that, and I think that's a massive bonus. I don't think Trip will feel any pressure at all. I think Trip will just play the game as normal. He'll have a laugh or whatever. He doesn't really get salty, or it doesn't come across as he gets salty, and I think that is a massive plus in the Trip camp. I'm just gobsmacked that Stuntman D has never beat him, because everyone seems to beat everybody. Trip saying he's better defense, terrible offense. Projector saying Trip has a lot of movement guards and he has had centaurs. Overall, his team is not slower. That will help. Yeah, I agree with that. Trip has recalled my position in our game in playoffs. I did say that as well. Trip, I try and forget our game, buddy. I try and forget my game with you. Otherwise, I'll slip my own wrists. But I mean, obviously the first half, we obviously the what was it? The pitch invasion made it simple for you in the first half. Second half, I got the ball off you. So yeah, I see where I see your point. I just think when I've seen you play a lot on your streams offensively, I think you're pretty good. I think you need to believe in yourself a bit more offensively. I think you're a better offense than defense, but hey, I've been known to get things wrong before. So you're going for Stuntman DD. Gimlick's going for Stuntman DD. Anybody else in the chat, please tell us who you think will win and what score to help us try and get some sort of thing. To me, it's a close one. But if my life depended on it, I'm going to Stuntman DD. Yeah,
that's what I had. Also, I think just be a close game, and you like. I do see like both teams like to score a lot, but I think they want to slow the game down a bit and play really defensively, both of them, and just try to see if there's an opening. Like one mistake I can see can it lend to either side, either to the Cannons or the Blitzkriegers. But I think Stuntman Diddy extra edge, because I think if Trip does make a mistake, I think Stuntman Diddy has the chance of making it more punishing than I'd say Trip's team does if the Blitzkriegers fail.
I mean, the thing what worries me, and probably the reason why I've gone for the Blitzkriegers, is Trip saying, when was the last time I caged? And all of a sudden that my alarm bells are like, oh my god. And I remember, like he said, he didn't cage in my game against him. And it's like, oh my god, yeah. If you don't protect the ball against the Blitzkriegers, you're all saying 1-0. You could be looking 3-1, 4-1. If you didn't protect the ball, this could be a rout. I've never seen a route in a final ever. I think last season was some crazy shit. I mean, that really messed my head, and that was hilarious. I don't think we're going to get that sort of craziness. But if Tripp doesn't protect the ball, this game will be over by half-time. That's my prediction.
Yes.
So, there you go.
Obviously, it can end up either way, but I just think both coaches, since this is the final, try and get the winning rights, and then they want to play a slow, methodical type. I could be wrong, but I haven't been wrong so far.
Can you... Hey, let's... What do you mean you're not being wrong so far? You said Projective's going to win this final this season. He went bloody out first round, so don't say you've not got that wrong. Don't give me that rubbish. Tell you what, you're as bad as I am now.
I'll rephrase it. Okay, I'll rephrase it. I haven't got the final wrong so far.
There we go. There you go. But yeah, can you see it going to overtime? Last question. Can you see it going to overtime?
Yeah, I could see it going to overtime. I could see if both players either play very offensively, I could see it being a game going into overtime. But even if it is overtime, I still think the Blitzkriegers would have the advantage if it does go into overtime. I'm assuming if they don't have any players killed or a lot on the injury box.
Yeah. My final advice to Tripp, if you want to win, take out 4, 5, 6. You take out them 3, especially the 2 leapers, then that will go a long, long way for you winning it. Yes, I am being Captain Obvious, I get that, but that is the way to beat this Dark Elf team. But there we go, that's the Dark Elf team, and that's the Case Dwarf team done. That is the final. That is Monday, to my knowledge, unless Tripp says otherwise, 7 p.m. GMT. The co-announcers will be announced probably as soon as I get some concrete information. I have a list. Yeah. I have a list of about 8 coaches who want to join me for the final. Obviously, I cannot take 8 in with me. That would be crazy. So as soon as I know, I'll let you guys know. So there we go. So that's that done. Now I've got to remember what we've done and what we haven't done because it's been crazy. Oh yes, let's have a look at the season 10 then. This is the season. What it's all about the money. All about the money. So cash prize of season 10. And we're just quickly going to have a look at a couple of teams here. Now, there's been a bit of a debate, especially in the Illuminar chat, and obviously Triple obviously vouched for that as well, about official nan. Now, people are saying, and I've said it, well, I thought he was going to take his Chaos Dwarf team. But a lot of people, like Shagrath, have been saying, he should take his Nagel team, because that's a better team. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a look at both the teams, and people like Trip, I don't know if Cinemouse is still there, or whatever, or Gimlick, tell me which team you would take out these 2 teams, or anybody else in the chat. So first of all, let's have a look at his Chaos Dwarf team first, Teddy. And if you want to tell us about this team, the strengths and weaknesses, and then we'll obviously have a look at his Nagel after that, and then you can tell us which one you think you would take. But the Blues and Yellows.
Yeah, I'm just getting the team up now, so just give me a second.
That's fair. So this is the team I thought he was going to go with, but he may not be now.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things I like about this team. I like the ball centaur with Lodge and Surehand, so he plays it like me, because I like to use my ball centaur as the ball carrier, not the hobgoblins. But in case the ball centaur doesn't work out, it does have that agility 4 hobgoblin as well. Yeah. Also, the Chaos Dwarfs are getting along nicely. He's got 2 claw pieces. Mighty Blow, one's got piling on, the other one's got plus strength. Yep. So a lot of carnage can be seen now. And he does have a nice bench as well. 14 players, and the Hobgoblin with guard as well. So there's a lot you can pick from, a lot of nice pieces he has there. So I do like this Chaos Dwarf team. Yeah.
It's interesting because I'm just going to say, in chat already, we've got Cinemouse and Trip. Cinemouse is saying, Chorfs, they're good. Tripper says Nagel. So there you go. We've got 2 of our top coaches there, and both coaches gone completely different. So it shows you how hard of a choice it is, because one saying take the dwarfs, take the Chorfs, and the one saying take the Nagel. And Trip says that ball carry pukes a little. So
yeah. He also does have the Astro Granite playing surface as his Staying Hearts. I thought I'd mention that as well.
He does, and it's a decent record: 17 wins, 7 draws, 4 losses. So it's pretty good. Let's have a look at the Nagel team. This team has been striking fear to just about everybody, called Bragg, or that's how I'm pronouncing it. It's a Nagel team. Team value 2,310. That is ridiculous. As people have said, I think Tripper said, I don't think he'll take Nagel. People have said he's just been trying to wreck teams with his team. He's not really bothered about the wins. And I think that sort of implies in his statistics where he has lost 13 games, won 34, drawn 22, 13 losses. But this team's nasty. He's got some really nasty pieces. I mean, he's built to kill. Simply, this reminds me of a cast team. I don't know about you, but that's what this reminds me of.
Yeah. I'm just quickly getting the team up now.
Yeah.
I can definitely see why you think it's definitely on that list of killer teams as well. I do like this Nurgle team as well. I think the Pestigors are quite nice. The Nurgle, he's even got a legendary Nurgle warrior as well, like legend status. I've just noticed, so that's pretty good. He's got another good Nurgle warrior, but he's a bit banged up with movement 3 AVA.
Yeah, he's had a bit of a beating, hasn't he? Bless him. But you can't sack him though, can you? With all them skills, especially if he's just built to kill. Projecki said best Pestigo I've ever seen. All right, let's have a look. I ain't clocked the Pestigo yet. Where is it?
I think it's number 10, Romungulus.
Oh yes, I've had better ones than that. Nah, it's all right. It's a good sort. I've had better than that. But it's a decent one. Now, guys, which team are you taking? Projecki, you've seen both teams. Would you, if it was your choice, would you take Case Dwarfs or would you take the Nagel? Teddy, what would you take?
Well, judging by both the teams, I do think Nurgle is the better team. But I think when I look at the standings of the rankings, I think the Korth team is a bit more safer since I noticed that Shagarath is making a good run with Nurgle, and he's not that far behind Baug, this team here. So I think the Korth team is the safer pick, but I think this team is the better team. But if I was in this situation, I possibly would take the Korth team because I feel more comfortable playing Korths than I do playing Nurgle. But that's just me. So I'd take the Chaos Dwarf team.
Yeah, I mean, look at the two teams. I think I would do the same. I think I'd go Case Dwarfs. One of the main factors in that would be as well is the team value of 2,310. You're giving a lot of. I mean, you'd be giving me, crikey, my TV's like 2,000. You're giving me like 300. Although the star players are great for Chaos, I could still do quite a lot with that. I would go with Case Dwarfs, definitely. And the way he's been playing his Nagel, you would think he's not playing his Chorfs because he's happy where they are and he doesn't want them getting hurt. So he's done this Nagel team just basically to wreck the opposition.
Yeah.
So I think I would be going with you. I think I'd go to Case Dwarfs as well, definitely. Projecki says I'd take Nagel because I don't like dwarfs. Fair enough.
Yeah. That's what I would have said. Fair enough. I just think if me personally, I feel more comfortable playing Chaos Dwarfs than I do Nurgle.
Yeah. Right. I'm just going to quickly, since you're with us, have a look at a team of Teddy Toms called Dark Wild Leapers. So we just Earth have you been doing? 14 rerolls, 7 fan factor. That's a lot of TV for what you've got, buddy. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, Kislev is the players are expensive.
Aren't they just crikey? Yeah. I thought
it doesn't help.
I looked saying that you have got a bear as well, haven't you? So that boosts it up a bit.
Yeah.
I thought 1470 would see some development in this team, but there's not much development. You've got your kick, what's interesting. You've got your wrestle pieces, what are always good at. I think Lyman with wrestle is always really good. Your blitz has got blocks. It's very, very undeveloped early. Good record though. 7 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses. So they're doing all right. You ran into a chaos team though, didn't you, last time?
Yeah. Yeah, but I did have a catcher and I did have another bear, but they both died to the dwarf team. So that did cut my TV down a bit. It was about the same as it was now, but it's just when I had the team when I started, I didn't have any blitzers. So now I'm trying to get the blitzers in and then slowly build them up. Yeah. So the TV's a bit high for what they are, but I think slowly but surely, if I can level up these blitzers, it'll be all right. It's just
I'll tell you one thing.
It's just the struggle with Kislev, just trying to level them up, and then your TV gets inflated, so you don't think they're that strong as you think they are.
Yeah, I tell you what's impressive though, is you beat Arzawin, the two-time champion, 3-0. You beat his Wolfbeds 3-0, and then you took Yukito's Dwarfs to the cleaner 3-0.
Yeah.
You know, that is impressive.
I can get some scores in, definitely. I can see mistakes in, because Kislev was the first team I actually played in Blood Bowl, so I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, but I kind of know what to do with them.
Yeah.
But so I can see an opening in, get in there, and then try to get a victory. But I just want to point out that one of my losses was just a concede because my game froze.
Oh, that's terrible. Was that against Rock City Death? Was that against Rock City Death? Yeah, that's a bummer when that happens. But yeah, I mean, like I said, if I was looking at this, I'd be like, crikey, this guy knows how to play. Beating Yukito 3-0 and beating Arzawin 3-0, that is impressive. That really is impressive. And this is what Kislev can do under a right coach.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've also beat Flint Sorrow 2-1 as well. I think he's the Los Destados, middle right, if you go in the history.
Which one are we looking at?
If you go in the history, in the middle section on the far right, it's called Los Des...
Oh, yeah, see it.
That was Flint's team as
Flint
well.
Sorrow's team, crikey.
Yeah, and then Wolfie Pets was Roy
Arzawin. Oh, so I thought it was Arzawin.
No.
Sorry, Arzawin.
No,
Did you not beat him 3-0 though?
I did beat him 3-0, but that was with Undead, not with Kislev.
Oh, well, there you go then. I'll retract that statement. But, yeah.
But yeah, I've still got a lot of development to go, but that's the trouble with Kislev. You always need to get that development in, but it's just difficult, as you said, trying to not get them killed. But I do my best trying to keep them alive, but it's not the best thing to do. It's not the easiest thing to do, I should say.
No, I must admit, that seems to be the problem with them, is they do break very easily. But hey, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
So there you go. So anyway, let's talk about a few things. What's gone on in the world of Blood Bowl. I'll put just for you guys. I'll put the Great White Shark. That's my team. That's my team for the playoffs. You can have a look at that if you want, or just not. I'm just going to put that on the screen for now. Right. So the PS4 went 2 minutes quite a while back now. It used to be 3 minutes, like the PC and the Xbox. Now there has been reports, and before PC guys and Xbox guys start screaming at me, this is just an idea they're looking at. This is not confirmed. This is not concrete. But they have been looking at 2 minutes. Would 2 minutes work on the PC? Would 2 minutes work on the Xbox? Because it's been a massive, massive positive on the PS4. Almost everybody seems to like the 2 minute turns. Question to you, Teddy. Do you like the 2 minute turns or not? And do you think it'd work on either the PC or the Xbox as well?
I don't mind. I'm not fussed. Whatever the time was, 2 minutes or 3 minutes, because I could always figure out my turns most of the time anyway. Mm-hmm. So the time wasn't really bothered. But I think it does help with that people get more games in, because games would then just be quicker. So then they can play more with their teams trying to climb the ladder. So that's a positive. But I know some coaches don't like that. Fan Fox wasn't a big fan of that.
No,
which is a shame because he doesn't play anymore.
He doesn't.
In the ladder.
No.
Yeah, which is a shame. So not a lot of coaches do like it. I think I'm not fussed either way, but I can see why. It gets more people to play more, and then more games get played. So I can definitely see 2 minutes turns being beneficial. But I think for other platforms like PC, because there's more of them, I think, and they're not exactly better, but they've got more players, and some might be new, some might be veterans, so they might need that extra time to think more through their plays in a turn. Yeah. So I can see for the PC that they might want to keep 3 minute turns. For Xbox though, I think a lot of them are veteran coaches, so I think 2 minutes will push them to their limits and see a lot of improvement.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Xbox is better than PC or PlayStation or the same. I just think with PC, there's a lot more coaches. I think they need a lot more time, and I think on the Xbox there's a lot more familiar faces on the Xbox, like Mutt, for example. So I think they can handle having the 2 minutes. I think on PC they might need to keep it on 3. So that's how I think about the change. the rumours going around.
Yeah, I mean, the PS4, the only person really, and he was a big name as well, FanFox. He was the only one who really came out and said, "Look, I can't do 2 minutes. I don't want to do 2 minutes," and he went onto the PC instead. I think that was the big withdrawal from the PS4, but. There's a lot of people who have played on the PS4 because of the 2 minutes. So it swings and roundabouts. I think, personally, if it goes on the PC, I think there'll be a meltdown. I think we'll have so many people spitting the dummy out, throwing the rattle out the prams, and all that sort of stuff. And I don't know, maybe when you play on PC, it's a different kind of breed of people. I don't know. I would be reluctant to do on the PC because I think, God, we're going to get so much shit. But for the Xbox, I think they need it. I think they need to freshen it up. And it was interesting to see that Mutt, who obviously is one of the best Xbox players, it's been over on the PS4. He got to the semi-finals of, obviously, the PS4 Cup. And he loves the 2 minutes. He loves it. He absolutely loves the 2 minutes. So this is a guy who's gone from one console and still plays on the Xbox to the PS4. And he can see the positives and he can see more games being played. I've spoken to another few Xbox guys who were like, oh yeah, I get to play more games. And sometimes people don't have, like one guy said, oh, I'd like to try and get 2 games in, but that's 3 hours. That's a lot of commitment. But if it was 2 minutes to 10, then he said, I've got a lot better chance of getting 2 games in. What would help me try and qualify for the playoffs? And I just think 2 minutes is a lot more exciting. There's now worse than being in a game, and I've had this a lot on the Xbox, where you're in a game and the guy's taking an age, or he's taking the 3 minutes. He doesn't have to take the 3 minutes, but he thinks, you know what, I'm going to take it because it's there. And you just feel like, oh my God, I'm so bored right now. It's so slow. And the thing is, with the Xbox having even a smaller community than the PS4, I think they need to make it more fun, more fast-paced, more exciting. And you get that with the 2 minutes. And people are like, oh yeah, but we might lose a few more games. But the thing is, the way the ranking system is, you can lose games. It's not a problem. It's not that much of a bad thing, I don't think. You look at some of these teams that are qualifying in, as long as they get enough wins, the losses aren't that bad. So it's not like like it was a few seasons ago, where if you lost 2 games, you might as well just delete your team and start again, because it's not like that anymore. So I personally think I love 2 minutes. I think it's good because you get the 3 minutes in the playoffs. So on the PS4, when you're in the playoffs, you're in a big game because you've got that extra minute. And I just think it balances out so well. So I personally think Xbox need the 2 minutes. It's not up to me. They might stick with the 3 minutes, but the way the situation is on the Xbox at the moment, they need the 2 minutes more than the PC. I think if you go 2 minutes on the PC, there'll be a lot of opposition. That's just my opinion.
I can't say much on the Xbox because I don't personally play on the Xbox, but I just think so I ain't got much to say as opposed to you, but I think whatever they decide, I think it's just going to be fine for them. I can see why they have 3 minutes, because some coaches like to think out their plays and think more, and then other times coaches just think, like you said, just there's 3 minutes. I might as well just use that time when they need to. Yeah,
and that's the annoying thing. Like I said, I always the way I look at it is this, and I've said this about the PC, and I've said this about the Xbox as well, is try it for a season. Worst case scenario, it doesn't do very well, and they just change it back the season after. But what if, say, for instance, the Xbox went 2 minutes, and all of a sudden more games got played, more people like the fast pace of it, and all of a sudden the Xbox community is playing more games than before. It's a lot more healthier. It's a win-win situation, because they ain't doing it good enough at the moment. So what you got to lose? You're certainly not going to get less games being played, because there's not enough games getting played already. So my opinion is a win-win. And if we are wrong, then go back to the 3 minutes. But I'd be gobsmacked if it doesn't get an increase. And at the end of the day, Cyanide want more games being played, and the better way to get more games played is have 2 minute turns. You still have the 3 minutes in the playoffs. So So there you go.
We can also see some. I was to say we can also see some positives as well. Like when you look on the ladder, we've got teams like we've mentioned, like Pro Jacky's team. He's played at least 40 plus games. You got Official 99. He's played about 60 or 70 games as well. Even your team, to some extent, they've played at least 36 games. So a lot of games have been played with these coaches, and they can grind more, which is
And I think you made a good point there, because Apple's Project's team, He's lost 9 games and he's top of the league. So, like I said to you, losses aren't as bad as they used to. Granted, he's 133, but what I'm saying is losses don't hurt as much. So the argument, oh yeah, well, that 2-minute thing might make me lose 1 or 2 more games and knock me out the playoffs. Yeah, but how many more games are you going to win because obviously you play more games? You know, it swings and roundabouts. So
yeah, even that Nurgle team. I didn't mean to interrupt there, but But, official 99's team. He's got 13 losses and he's top Nurgle at 14 place.
Yeah. So there you go. So this is it. You know, it's. I agree with you. You know, losses. You know, it doesn't really matter. So there you go. So we're going to wrap it up almost now. But one thing I just want to ask you, I don't know if you've ever checked on the rules. We've had a few people, especially more on the Xbox and the PS4, but I'm not going to mention the guy I've been talking to because he's not happy. He's been disqualified. He wasn't sure on the rules. Do you think the rules of how you get disqualified aren't clear, Teddy? Or do you think they're clear? Is there any way they could do it to make it easier? You know?
Well, I think the rules are pretty clear. If you concede more than 6 times, then you're out for the current ladder competition. If you do it 2 seasons in a row, then the 3rd season you get banned.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what they're not understanding or what they're not sure about.
Yeah,
it's quite clear in the rules.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing was someone was saying he didn't think disconnects, or game freezes on the Xbox counted as a concede, and I was trying to say to him, look, yes, because your game crashes, so you've conceded the game, and he was like, well, they haven't worded it right, and he thinks it was disgraceful. And then I had another coach who was saying, oh, well, I thought the 6 concedes were for just one team. Because I haven't got 6 concedes in one team, they're spread all over the place. And I'm like, no, they all add together. I checked the forum rules, and to me it seems straightforward. But I just thought I'd ask you, or if anyone in the chat thinks it's hard to understand how you get banned. I don't think it is myself. It seems straightforward to me.
I'm just quickly looking at the official league and going news. It's clearly stated on there. Reset you have a maximum of 6 concessions per coach and per season.
Yeah, so that's what I think. I think the same. I think it's straightforward. But I always say, if you've got a problem, always message me. You don't have to. I mean, I'll get shot for this. I mean, we do have our own Blood Bowl forum messaging, but as I said to all the coaches, I am a madman, so just message me. Just message Bernie Buffon. I have got no problem. I have loads of people who just go straight to me with problems, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So if you think, oh well, you know what? If I message the Blood Bowl message service, I don't really get any response quick enough. Just message me, and like I said, as soon as I'm on, I will reply to you straight away. And try and help you best I can. And if I can't, I've got another 4 or 5 admins who can help me anyway. So no worries there. So that's us. Go on, sorry, you
I was just say the admins are always there to help you out if you're ever got any questions or queries as well. And they do a good job of trying to help as many coaches as they can.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we try our best. And like I said, I get a lot of people who come straight to me via just message Bernie Buffon instead of going the long way, and they'll tell you I will help everyone the best I can. And if I don't know, it, I'll go and ask the admins. I'll go and ask Netheos. I'll ask whoever I need to get it answered for you. So never be afraid to message me with anything, even if you think it's stupid. It's not stupid. Just send me it, and I will do the best to help you. But that's us done. We're done. I'd like to thank my co-host, as always. You're a legend, Teddy Tom. And we'll see if your prediction of the 1-0 to the Stuntman DD's Blitzkriegers 2.0 works out. Well, if it does, then it's going to be a bit scary. Because I'll be 2-2. So thanks again for coming on. It's always much appreciated. I know the fans love Teddy on the show because you talk a lot of sense, unlike me, who just babbles on. And on.
I'm always happy to help.
You are a champ. Now then, I will tell you now, the Nuffle Shuffle will probably be on Tuesday. I did say it's probably going to be Sunday, but I've just realised the final is on Monday, so it'd make a lot more sense if I do it Tuesday. And I will do my best to either get Tripperus or Stuntman Didi, one of the finalists, on the show. So we can talk to them about how the final went, what was great, what was bad, and stuff like that. So that'll be about the Tuesday. The Blood on the Box, the Xbox version, will probably on Sunday, probably. So that'll be the same because they're not to the final yet. So there we go. But that's us done. Thanks again. If you haven't followed, click on it and obviously subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's free. It's a lot better, a lot easier for you. And thanks again. Thanks to Teddy. And we'll see you on next Tuesday when we'll unveil who the champion is. Good luck to Trip and good luck to Stuntman DD. Take care, guys, and we're out.